All right, what's going on, design hackers? It's that time of week again, and what I've got for you today is a new template, and we're going to go through it today because it is a template that will help you create square videos. Now, this is going to be really cool, and basically, what you're going to be able to do is repurpose any videos that you've created, whether it's something like this size here, the 16:9 ratio, which is standard, or if it's a mobile, like vertical video. I'm going to show you a lot of cool things you could do to take videos you've created in the past, or maybe something you'll create in the future, and package it up better so that it gets more engagement and views when you post it on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else. But studies do show that square videos get more engagement. And I'm going to show you today how to do this pretty easily. And let's see, we got the numbers climbing, so it looks like you can see me and hear me. Just gonna make sure we're all good to go before we log in. Looks like we're good. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome and thanks for joining. If you have any questions throughout the training, if you're watching live, you can comment below. As always, I want your feedback, and I'm going to go pretty quickly through some of this because I'm not going to be teaching, video editing necessarily. I'm going to show you a few things that you'll need to know when you go and edit your videos yourself. But you will need to find your own video editing platform. I'm using ScreenFlow today. I like ScreenFlow for Mac. I like Camtasia for PC. But really, most any video editing software will let you do this. So you can get something pretty cheap to edit your videos. So let's go ahead and there we go. All right, let's go ahead, and you're watching me right here. As always, we're going to start off from scratch, and maybe before we get into it, I'll show you today kind of what we're going to create. Let's look at what I just posted on my page. So this is actually something that I wanted to demo and test out this morning so that you could see. Let me go ahead and open up my other file here, but this is something I created this morning, just recording with my phone and then turning it into a video like this. So you can take, not only are you going to be able to use what I'm showing you today with the new templates, you can also take any of the other Square Post templates that I've created in the past and turn them into videos just like this. So really, really cool concept here. I think you're going to have some fun with this, but you've seen this design before. This is not a new design. I have all these templates available for you, but I'm going to show you how to use this for yourself. Let's look at what it looks like here in the file here so you can see what we're going to end up with today. The demo that I created for you, basically I took the same clip of this lady smiling. It's a 16:9 size video. So the original video looked like this. Just like, if you record any kind of video, really, it's going to turn out kind of like this. So the idea here is to repurpose that or repackage it into something like this, like all the top social media experts have, right? So they have videos like this where you have that catchy headline, some kind of text on the top and maybe something below. I threw in some of these banners and things. And then I also went with this green screen concept that we talked about a few weeks ago. It's not required because today I'm going to show you actually how to do just simple transparent background graphics today. But there also is the green screen option that'll let you create these kind of effects too. So that's what we're going to go through today. And then I also turned one of our previous designs into this video here. So if you want to create stuff like this, stick around, ask questions. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's go first to the templates. You'll just need to go to designhacker.club/templates, and you'll have access to this as long as you're in the group. Let's go ahead and scroll down, way down to, I put it in the video creation section. So what you have here is Square Video Graphics. And click on template, right? So I'm going to take this link and open it up as you will see it. Logged in here with Joey. So when you open it up, you're going to see it like this. And in the view only mode, you're going to see a preview. So as we scroll down, you see all those templates. What's unique is I'm using transparency now. So Melody called me out and wanted a simpler way versus having to do the green screen. I made this even easier for you. So you have a combination here of just simple graphics with a transparent background and also some with the green screen. So to edit this, you'll go to File, Make a Copy. Go to File, Make a Copy. You can name it. And you can put it into your drive wherever you want. And now you're going to get your own file that you can do whatever you want with. You can edit it however you need to. And let's close out that view only. And this is your file now. So you'll see it's a 1600 by 1600 size. That's pretty standard. That's kind of what I've been using a lot with all my graphics. And this works perfectly for these videos. The minimum I think is 600 by 600. But this will be plenty big. Scrolling down, this is kind of cool. Right here at the top, version 1, you have tips and resources. So I did kind of write out a lot of these steps here. If you open this up, I got to change the cover graphic here, which we'll talk about another day. But the steps here that we're kind of going to go through are these 3. I have it written out down here. You're going to have obviously more steps because you have the templates. This is actually public here. So if you enjoy today's training, just go down and comment down here on, saying you love this or how awesome it is, or maybe just share a video that you create if you do, because this will be public. I might run ads with this later on to get people to join the club. But I wanted to put some of the basic steps here, as well as some of the resources that we're going to go through today. So you have a lot of this stuff handy, and you can always link to it right here from this. The video tutorial that we're doing today is also going to be in this document. Now, scrolling down, it looks like we have a white background. I wish Google would change the transparent backgrounds to look like they're transparent. They just make them white for now. So I put an arrow in here. So let's go ahead and, as we always do, let's start with the master. Let's go to View Master. So as always, you can you can customize this with your brand colors and fonts, but I want to point out here that this layout, like number 2, this white one here, I added in this arrow that says the background should be transparent. Okay, so what I did is I made the background transparent. So it's actually see-through. So when you download this thing, it's going to be see-through. You can kind of tell here that this image is see-through. So it'll look like that. And that makes it really easy to edit your videos. So let's go ahead and do the normal steps. Bring in your brand colors if you have them. You could do that by opening up your Google Drive, any of your files that you've already worked on in the past. You can just copy these colors here, grab your color palettes here. Copy that. If you don't have it, it's not a big deal. You don't have to have it. But if you do, you can drop it in, paste it in here to your file. So now the colors will show up in your custom color section. So it's really easy to find your brand colors. Now that we have those loaded in, let's go to View Master. What I like to do is go to the first one here, this master one here in the top. We're going to change the background color, and we're going to change the font. Let's click on that, go background, and just make it red for now. Usually one of your darker background colors, and then click on this so it's all selected, and we'll change the font. So just choose one of your fonts that you use. The body font's going to be fine. Just a really easy to read one. As you know, Joey uses Droid Sans, so this will be consistent. You always want to use the same font. Always, always, always use the same font for all your stuff. You'll have usually a headline font and a body font. In this case, let's just make this really easy because there's a lot of text here. We can change the text later on, but just make it very simple right now and use the body font. So now those 2 things are updated, and you've got the background color and the font. You could also scroll down and grab, something like this if you want to change out the background images. But really, we're not doing too much with these. Towards the end, we'll talk about some of these other ones here that help you create those cool backgrounds. If you have your own background image that you've been using, you can go ahead and just drop it in here. You just click on the image and replace the image. So Joey has stuff like this, so we can drop in here. But what we're looking at today is mostly using transparent backgrounds. So this stuff is down here and available. You can edit these out, just change out the images. I gave you these kind of cool wooden bottoms here and this stuff. But today we're going to mostly focus on these transparent background images, because this is kind of new. I've never done this for you, but I want to do more of it because it's really helpful. Actually, I have done it with a video overlay, so you have kind of seen it before. So let's look at here, slide number 3, right? You kind of, what you'll do first is go through and just find one that you want to start with. So I recommend just finding something real quick you can try out. We'll start with this first one here. It's really simple and basic. And I recommend copying it. Just right click and copy, or just copy it and then paste it. So I made a copy of it and I pasted it. Or you can just duplicate the slide and then drag it up here. Basically, you want to have all the originals down below, and then the ones you're working on up here at the top. And all you have to do now, see, since we've already updated the font, it's already Droid Sans, so the font's already been updated on all these. The blue sections here, you will have to manually edit. So you have to click these blue shapes. All it is a couple shapes here. And you can just click on these and change them to any color that you want. Using your brand colors is the best. So maybe we'll go with like red. You could do the same one, or something like this would look fine too. So pretty simple. You can change your stuff like 5 ways to improve your sales conversions. Okay, so if you had something big like that, you could change the font size a little bit. Maybe you want the headline to match your headline font, so you could change that. Shrink it down a little more. That's pretty good, right? Down below, you can write something. We'll talk about what to do with this lower section later. You put in your website or something like that. Let's just say a fast start guide to, or maybe whatever you want. All right, so let's go ahead and just say this is perfect. You have a video that you've created before. Maybe it's a short tutorial or a demo that you've done a live training or a webinar, and you just want to wrap it around with this graphic. So you go to File, Download as PNG. It's very important to do a PNG because that allows for transparency. So if we save it as a JPEG, it'll actually be a white background, so you won't be able to see through that middle section. A PNG will detect the transparency and will allow you to create a transparent image. So if I click PNG, it'll download this image. So now I have a graphic here with a see-through middle section. So if you go into a video editor, you will need to create a square size file. Usually a video editor will let you create a new document. So I'll go to File, New, I'll do a document. So it'll be something like this. It'll let you put in the pixel size. You could probably do a custom size. There's a ton of video editors out there and things you could use. So I can't necessarily help you with what you're using, but just look it up, Google it, search their database, for the steps on how to create a custom size video file. And then when you create a 1600 by 1600, this will load in there perfectly. So I have a blank file here, and you can kind of import the graphic. I usually just drag it in and drop it in here, but get your graphic file in here. And what we have to do here is you'll just kind of get it and you can drag it. So it should kind of fit in there. You might have to, snap it in, resize it to fit, but it's a square video file here. So this graphic will fit perfect. And now below that layer, you'll put the video clip. So you'll put your video layer right below it. And at this point, the video might not fit perfect here because it's probably going to be a little bit different size. You're going to have to kind of resize this. Don't stretch. I've seen some of you guys stretch your videos. Don't do that. Make sure you keep the size the same. They'll usually have an option for you to hold down a key. So like ScreenFlow just updated, so now by default it'll stay. I can't even mess it up, but if I click Shift, I can mess it up. So they actually switched that around. I used to have to hold Shift to keep it the right size. So it depends on your editor. Sometimes if you're finding that you're trying to resize this and it's getting all messed up, you might be able to hold down Shift as you drag, so it'll fit right. So some of these editors are getting smarter, so that they're making it easier for you. But just FYI, don't warp your video clips. Figure out how to do it with your program. you can usually hold down a key or something as you drag to keep it in the same proportion. So as you do that, now that's going to be the important thing here is you kind of fit it in. So it will kind of fit in perfectly if you wanted to really get it, edge by edge. And I did give you a little cushion so that there's a little bit of overlap on the top and bottom so that you won't have gaps. But that's pretty much it. Your 16 by 9 videos are going to fit in there perfectly. So this is how you can repackage a training or something that you've done. Now, in the tips and resources link that I gave you, I mentioned that you'll want to have this clip ready to go before you do this process. So you don't want to get in here and start editing down this video. Let's say this was like a 2-hour training, and then you wanted to crunch it down to like 10 minutes of like highlights. You would want to do that beforehand. So if you're going to edit down this video, you'll definitely want to do that before you do this step. So this video here is 2 minutes. That's fine. Let's say this was you talking, or let's grab this lady here, and she's just going to do a big smile for us, and it's only a few seconds long. So if you had your video clip ready, then you drop it in here. If you needed to do any editing, you can have this mashed up to where you have like all these different scenes and a cool video here, but that should be done beforehand. This last step here, this is the last step of the whole process, is packaging it with your graphic behind it, okay? So you want to match this layer on top to fit the exact same length. And just like that, it's going to be a nice, clean video. So once you're done, you can just export it. We'll just do the full 1600 by 1600. It's not too big a deal as long as it's a pretty high size here. We'll just do a test. Now you'll have the graphic and the video behind it saved. So it's pretty much the same steps for all of these different graphics that you create. You have the transparent background, and you'll create stuff like this, right? So I just did a demo for like each one. On a couple of these, I set it up to where it's not a 16 by 9, because sometimes I've seen a lot of the, like Gary Vaynerchuk will do something like this where he will crop out the sides because there wasn't anything important. So if you have like a screen tutorial or something that you wanted to show the whole thing here, and it's really important to see the full size video, you'll want to find these templates that have that ratio. But if it's just your face or something and you wanted to have more zoomed in and maybe a cool transparent overlay like I have there. So in those graphics I have built in, like this one here, is this kind of already semi see-through graphic down at the bottom. So if I copy that, paste it up here, we could do the same thing. I'll just grab this. Let's do something a little bit different now. Maybe I want to keep my website or something down there, but I'm gonna remove this text and just kind of leave it blank. So let's go ahead and go File, Download as PNG. All right, so now actually I'll go to this one. So let's do a second one. I've got this graphic now, and I'm going to go ahead and drag in that typing thing. So what I have at this point is something like this. So let's go ahead and make this full. I'm gonna need to crop this differently because it'll actually see through here. So I'll have to kind of zoom in. You can see that it kind of shows through. So this gives you a little more stylized effect. If you don't need them to see the whole video clip, you can drop that in there. What we have now, maybe this one isn't the best example. I'll try using this lady again because she was a pretty good example. What we have is an area below. Now see, I can zoom in. That text will show up better. So if you wanted to use the like built-in Facebook captions thing, if you're talking here, that would work well. You've probably all seen how to do that. If you don't know how to do it with Facebook, they have a whole built-in thing. If you have yourself talking on camera, or if you have audio, it'll pretty much detect what you're saying in your video, and it'll give you the ability to drop it in there. I don't know if it'll work well with the website under. You'd have to try it out, but either way, having like a section down here where your text will stand out a little more is cool. But you can also do this manually. Pretty much any video editor will let you put in your own text. So you could add text in here. Now, I've seen guys like Gary Vaynerchuk do this where they'll manually put it in so they can have a little more control and they don't have to do like every word. You could have some like big big important points down here. Oops. And so you'd be like, important news. We just do some like big headlines so that they get the big ideas. And let's just kind of do, let's do this. Okay, important news. We'll change it to, you have to find your font. This is the only bummer if you do it on the editing software itself, you'll have to download your font. I don't even know if I have Droid Sans in here, which would kind of mess up your branding because you want to use the same font if you're doing this strategy. See, I don't think I do. So I'm not gonna have the same font here unless I go and you can go to Google Fonts and download it to your computer. But that would be an important thing to do. But for now, I'll just kind of show you. So you have some text and you could basically, what I do, one of my tricks with video editing is if I want to just cut to different text, I'll just kind of create one long text line and say I'm going to have text throughout this whole video. And then I'll go through and trim. So if it's like important news, trim, you can like cut a clip. Maybe I say something different here, like we're launching big. So now it'll cut. Boom. But again, now you don't have to do much. Like it's pretty much ready. Join us to learn more, right? Let's say you were saying something kind of like that. You don't even have every word in there, but if you have the big ideas, and now it's really easy to just kind of have that cropped. The other cool thing you do, a lot of editors will let you kind of drag to create an effect. So you can kind of drag those transitions over each other and have it do that. On ScreenFlow, I use something like push, so it'll kind of flip. So you could do some fun stuff pretty easily. Just kind of plan ahead. Just figure out how you want to do this. I'm going to show you another maybe easier way. Well, they're all kind of, if you're doing this, it's going to take some work, right? So doing it with Facebook's built-in editor might be the easiest because they just kind of let you put the text in down there if you want to do captions. But this is a manual way to kind of just add some text like this. So I'll do that push again. So that's pretty cool. The other option would be to do that ahead of time here, and maybe we'll make this bold. And if you want to make this darker, you can click on this and image options and just make the transparency a little bit less. So it's a little less transparent. That'll be darker. You could do this ahead of time. If you know there's like 5 different big points you want them to see. Okay. What you do then is just duplicate the slide. So you've got like, it's achieving the same thing, but what we're just doing is creating it here as images. So depending on your skill level, with video, I'm not sure which one will be easier for you. So let's copy this. And basically here, we wouldn't have to worry about the text stuff. You'll just need to drop in. Did I not save the other one here? And you could do the same kind of thing where it'll fade or something like that. So you just have to go in and kind of like mess with these images. So you're just making images fade into each other. So we're launching something new. Let's say you want it to kind of halfway through, fade into that. And now the image, and let's delete the lower image. Oops. So it's just the same concept, but you're going to be just doing this. And now it'll look smooth. It looks like the only thing that's changing is the text, but it's actually 2 full images. So that'd be a way to kind of, you can do this as many times as you need to. And again, I recommend in this scenario, you're not typing out every single word. It's just like, if they're going to watch, like, they're not going to listen to it, as you probably know from your behavior. If you can just get a few points across, that'd probably be enough versus every single word. If you want every single word, just use Facebook's caption thing. Let's see here. There's probably some questions coming in. Before I get to some of the more advanced stuff, let's see if there's anything else that you would like me to go through here. Let me open this up. So video editors that I recommend, actually check this out. I'll show you. By the way, what's up, Susie? Let's see. In this post that I gave you, so you have a link to this here from the actual template, a link over to the tips and resources. And it's just on my fan page right now if you want to see it. In this, I give you a good list. So I've got it opens up like this. Down at the bottom here, you can go to, or just go to thedesigntoolbox.com for my recommendations. So just go to thedesigntoolbox.com. And down towards the bottom, I've got, so my recommendations for video editors, I use ScreenFlow for Mac, and Camtasia is good for PC. And then some other ones, there's stuff out there you can use. I know we had a good discussion in the group as well, some of the tools you guys are using. But those are the ones I recommend. This one's only $100. ScreenFlow, Camtasia is like $300 for PC. So if you're going to do some video editing, those are pretty good. But there's free ones you can check out and grab, and they all kind of let you do this stuff. They're all very different. So this is just the one I like for Mac. It's only $100. I mean, it's a great deal, and it's really good for recording your screen too. Which I use it for video editing mostly, but it's also really good for screen recording. Let's look again at the questions here. So let's talk about Crystal. Has got a question here on green screen. So I'm going to get into that next. The master, yes. I've changed your life, dude. That's what I'm all about here. I'm going to write a book, How Graphic Design Can Change Your Life, forwarded by Dan Howard. All right, so Crystal's got a question about green screen. So that's a good topic. Let's go ahead and get into the next level of video here. So this is how you're going to be able to take anything that you've done. So the other graphics down below or in this file are like these. So these are much more difficult to, like, what I have are all these layers of graphics. So it's hard to make a transparent section here. Now I can go into Photoshop and like make this box transparent so it behaves like these, where you have a see-through section of the image, but you can't do that necessarily. So the easier way that I wanted to help you do this is by putting in these green boxes. Actually, let me go back into Joey here. So at the bottom down here, let's go ahead and grab one of these. Let's just grab this one here. Let's copy it and paste it up here at the top. So what I've done for you is I put in this green image. Really, I just Google searched. Check it out. You can just go, you can do a green screen. That's all I've done. And you all know what green screen is. It's used on TV all the time. So it's nothing new. It's just the way we're applying it's a little bit unique. So type in green screen. You'll see a bunch of stuff. If you want to know what green screen is, it's how people do all those cool effects on video. The concept's really simple though. So, and I'm going to help you apply it to these templates so you can do some really, really cool things. Basically, if you search for green screen, you're going to find some weird stuff. but go to images on Google. And what I did is I just grabbed this first one here. So I grabbed this image. It's actually just an image that has the color green. And you can download it. What I did is I just downloaded it. I even gave you a link to this. So, I mean, it's very simple. It's not like you can grab this easily yourself. But what I did is I created these templates here. Let's go back to this. And I gave you a 16:9 box here inside this computer screen. And it's just an image. Like I could actually, you could click on this and replace it. You know, I could put in Joey's face here if you just want to make a graphic, which is how my other templates work. But what I did is I actually put in a green screen image for you. And what this does, let's go ahead and like customize. You know, you can do the same concept here. You can spice up the outside and in your own words and whatnot. But once you have this ready to go, all you have to do is put in your text and then save this. In this case, it can be well, PNG is fine. Let's just do a PNG. Because there's no transparency here, right? So it's just an image with a green box on it. But when you load it into your video editor, you're going to be able to do some cool stuff. So we've got the image loaded in here. Now let's go ahead and try, if we try doing this, we're not going to have the transparency. So the lady below is not showing up, and that's not going to work, right? What you can do is apply what's called a chroma key effect. So if you're using whatever software you're using to edit videos, you'll need to search in their platform how to do chroma key, CHROMA space KEY. And so in this case, I'm going to go here on ScreenFlow. You can go to like video filters or video effects, something like that. And you're going to find chroma key. So right here, I got chroma key. When I click that, it's going to do its best to figure out which color I want to eliminate. And it saw a lot of red. So it's like, okay, I'll just hide the red. But I don't want to do that. So I need to make sure that it's going to find the green. The reason they use green is because skin tones don't really have this color green in it. That's why green screens work, because we're finding that color. So I can kind of click on this and go, boom, I want to click that color. So what it did is it found every pixel that had this green color in it, and it's going to make it see-through. So now the layer that was below is going to show through. So the concept's really simple. We're just hiding the green pixels. And that's how you're able to create a see-through section of your video. So now it'll show whatever's below, just like we had before. And so you just do the same thing. You can stretch it out to match the length of your video. So if you're going to use the green screen option, I recommend not doing the multiple graphics like this. I recommend not doing this where we had these pre-made graphics, because you'll have a heck of a time having to do a green screen for every slide that you create. Just keep it simple. This will work well. And then you could do the editing, the text editing later, either natively in the editor or with the Facebook tools to add lower text, or just make it a static image that the only thing changing is the video in the middle. So you can see how not only is this a promotional graphic, but this would be a great ad or something. There's so much you could do with this. That would look cool. So you're just adding motion to your graphics now. So these are the core concepts you need to know. There's very simple up here, which was just this, right? So very simple thing. This will automatically just make your stuff look way better. Next level is adding text changing and whatnot. Excuse me. The next is using slides to create different things. So you could have even the title changing. You get multiple slides just switching through and things changing here. And next would be green screen. So with that in mind, let's look at how I created my other video, because I gave you a few options down here. I really wanted to just throw a few in here because these are cool looking and you could just use these. But essentially what you could do is take any of the templates that I've ever given you, and let's go ahead and look at Joey Smooth. You have a Square Post template that I think we've worked on. Square Post, let's take a look. So with Joey, and you can go back to our previous training, Square Post graphics in my template library. Basically what we did is I did a full training showing you how to create Square Post graphics like these. And this looks familiar, right? So you have all these templates down here. So let's look at these phone ones, right? For example, this one right here is pretty cool. This one's cool. Basically anything that you have an image, this is just an image, we can replace that with a green screen, right? That graphic that we created. So I could swap out this. You could have your face moving around up here if you wanted. Basically anywhere that you have an image, you can swap it out. Now, in this case, the whole background could be a video. So let's try that. Let's try doing this and paste it up here. So I'm in my old templates here, the video. I'll just do this one too. Not the video. These are actually just the normal square graphics. What I'm going to do is click on this background here and replace. And I'm just going to drag in that green image. So the whole background now is going to be green screen. In this case, though, we have this gradient. That's not going to work well. It it can't pick it up because it's actually not the right color. So I would delete any kind of gradients. You want it to be flat like this so that it's really clear. The lines are very strong and clear. Even up here, we have a little gradient. It might get a little hairy there. We'll try it out. But let's swap out this phone here. Or I think I already messed with this one here. So let's just use this one. And this is where we can, I mean, you can just get creative. Like there's so much, and I'll go back to the one I did this morning just as a demo. I did it in like 10 minutes. Let's save this. Let's save this as PNGs, yeah. Let's throw them in here. Same exact steps. I'll just use mine because this is what I made earlier. So I did the exact same thing and created something like this. It just looks, it's like gonna blow people's minds when they watch. And this part's moving, right? I just think it's mind blowing. I haven't really seen someone do that. So I think it's time that we start to blow people away. So let's just drop it in. Here's how I did it. I'll take my clip. I recorded just like a selfie video, right, with my phone. I'm going to mute the audio so I don't hear myself over and over. We'll do the same concept, put that below. Put this layer over the top. I need to make this green section see-through. So I'll do chroma key effect. All right, which color? So I'm going to go, I know where the green is right there. Boom, now it's figured it out. Okay, that's the color I wanted. Stretch this out. Now, one thing I did have to do, I had to like move the video clip to kind of fit in there. So you're gonna have to like, kind of like reposition your video clip to snap in the right spot. There he goes. Pretty sweet. Again with this one. It's a very different concept here. So really in this one, let's say we want something really wild. Like let's go to videos. One of those resources I gave you is videos.pexels.com. Something that we want moving in the background. And they actually have some good, like, let's type in like blur. Might get like some blurred out stuff. Let's see. You get some wild like background videos. Let's see what would be good. I don't know, any of these I guess would be cool. Let's just take this one here at an office, download this clip. Just so you can see any kind of video. And it could be something more like, we'll try a few. We can drop in this now. Let's see how this this works here with this one. We'll probably figure out the green. Yep. Okay, so now that's see-through. And so you can see how you can create like some crazy looking moving graphics. So it could even be you talking on the side here. If you set up your video ahead of time, you know, it could be, let's take our lady actually. Let's take her. This would actually work pretty well. So you could repurpose even just a clip like this, move it behind. That's her forced smile is hilarious. Okay, so if you set it up right, look at that. Just interesting. I mean, it's a little bit different style here, but you can see how the only thing limiting you is like your creativity, because you can swap out all these things. So I have all these different templates for you in the library, and you could do this anywhere. Same concept. So I think I've gone from very basic to some pretty wild advanced stuff. This one was pretty exciting to me. I thought of this kind of last minute because these vertical videos are becoming so popular. Now you could take like, you know, if you're doing Instagram stories or whatnot, you could actually repurpose them into like a quick quote. If you're inspired and you're walking around and you do a quick Facebook story or something like that, a Snapchat. Now, instead of just like some random video sitting on your phone, you could send it over to your computer and edit it and highlight, bring out like the important point and repackage it as a post. And that literally took me like 10 minutes to do. I mean, you can see once you get a system down, you just go in, you create the video, go in, make the graphic, save it, drop it in. And then I would kind of create a template, a video editing template, kind of like I've done here, where you just kind of like, you go through, and if I wanted to, most editors will let you kind of choose an in point and an out point that you export. Again, I'm not going to teach you your editor that you're using, but on ScreenFlow, like you could choose in and out and then export it. Boom. So I've taken that clip. It only takes a second, right? If they're short, like, you know, it's only going to take a second to create these. Now I've got just that section there that I created as a video I could post real quick. All right, let's look at any last questions, and then I'll, I think I'll wrap up. I don't know if there's anything else. I'll go back through that note and just make sure. Start with a raw video, create a graphic you like that will house the video or wrap the video, combine them together, and then some additional tips, resources. That lady, I bought that lady, that stock video clip. You can buy these for only a few bucks. So if you want to buy something, if you have the need to like buy something cool, click on this and you'll open it up and you can actually see, I link right into the like best-selling stock videos every week. So you can see, you can get these cool $8. You can get like a hovering aerial shot going over New York City, or people working, or like these are the kind of things. Now it's going to add up if you do a bunch of these, but if you just need one good one, you can go find it here. And they have stock video footage you can get. You saw the free video footage you can get. You're going to be limited with those though, but these will all work great for what we're doing here. Where was my, see, that is there. Okay, it's the other one here. Chroma key replacing with green. Yeah, so it's a little tricky, right? So the chroma key, okay, good. So there's some pricing on Camtasia. Basically, they're all different. If you're using ScreenFlow with a chroma key, let me just remove it from this. I'll just remove it here. So in this case, when you select chroma key, you'll have to add the filter or whatever it is. What they do is they'll automatically try to figure out what you're trying to hide, but they messed up here. So they actually chose this red color. So it didn't work, right? So they chose a red color. They're hiding every pixel on here that has that red in it, which you see my face is actually all messed up because I have red in my face, my skin tone, right? Even this guy's hand here has got red pixels in his skin tone. So that's why green works so well. And what you have to do, usually they'll let you kind of choose like what is the pixel color that you're trying to hide. And in this case, I know with them, I just kind of hover over where that is and I click. And then it detects, okay, that's the green. Okay. The software can figure out you're trying to hide all the green pixels. And then it's good to go. I'm not sure how it works with other platforms, but I think it's pretty similar with how they do it. They'll show you what color pixel they're hiding, and then you can adjust that somehow. And then it's pretty straightforward. And they'll even give you like options to kind of like, you know, toggle it around. There's all kinds of stuff. And what I would recommend you do if you have a hard time with your editor, just Google it, try to look for like whatever tool you're using to edit videos, and then add, you know, type in the name of the software and then type in like chroma key or green screen, and you'll find tutorials on how to do it. It's usually not too bad. All right, cool. You got it. Good. Well, thanks for hanging out today. This was a lot of fun. And again, if you could, especially if you're watching this right now, if you could take some of these comments you're writing and just go to that post on my page and just tell me, you know, what you liked about this, or if you're excited to use this concept, or if you like the templates and the designs I created, just go ahead and post over there. Give me some feedback. And if there's anything else that you find helpful that you found that would enhance what I've already started with here, then share that too in the comments so we can all benefit from that, because this is my best first step towards giving you a way to create these videos, but it's going to get better. And there's probably tools out there. I know there's a lot of cool stuff like Ripple and other tools you can create to create Square videos. But specifically today, I wanted to help you repurpose videos you already had and wrap them with cool graphics. So that's all for now. See you again next week. And Let me know if there's anything else you want from me, any new templates or ideas that you have, send them my way. I appreciate it. All right. Have a great day. Cheers.